And now it's time for the thrilling conclusion of 10 Tips for Living Abroad.
Okay, this is going to be one of those do as I say, not as I do moments, but you should really learn the language while you're there. I lived in China for 7 years and I never learned the language. I can already feel your judgment. I made things a lot more difficult on myself. I ended up having to do everything through pantomiming and translation apps or getting my friends to help me out. But your friends are, while they're willing to help you out, they're not at your beck and call 24/7. They have their own lives as well. So it's really important to start learning the language while you're there as quickly as possible, or even start learning the language before you go over there. There's apps like Babbel or Duolingo or Rosetta Stone and stuff like that. It's better to have some language under your belt than not have any at all. Additionally, you should be taking every opportunity to learn and appreciate the local culture. I mean, that's part of the reason why you're going over there, isn't it? I would say take every opportunity because you never know when that opportunity is going to come by again, and you might miss out on something cool. For example, I have friends who went to Shanghai, went to Hong Kong, and they only went there to experience the Disney parks, which is cool. I love the Disney parks. I'm not knocking the Disney parks. But then eventually they would have to go back home at the end of their contract, and then they would look at all the stuff that they missed, like the Bund or Lantau Island or Victoria Peak, and they would show real regret over not being able to take those trips and those opportunities, or they would learn about some food that is only specific to a region that they were in, and they would be like, why didn't I eat that while I was there? So take every opportunity, learn and appreciate the culture that you are living in. That being said, you should know your limits. There are things in life that we want to do but probably shouldn't because of legality of things or your personal tolerances or food aversion or food allergies that we probably should not do. Like, for example, let's say that there is a dish that's really culturally significant. Like in some of the places that I went to, a braised fish dish was very significant. A dish that you would have with friends and family around. It's very important. But if you're allergic to seafood, don't eat that dish. I mean, why are you going to put yourself at risk? You're not going to completely offend your host. You could tell them that you have an allergy and it'll be okay. Or let's say that there's a certain thing, like certain activity, like let's say mountain climbing, which you can't really do. Like you have no experience doing, there isn't going to be a guide or anything like that. Don't do it because you're going to hurt yourself and you're going to ruin the rest of your stay. There's always going to be more things that you can experience, other cultural things that you can see and do and taste. So if you cannot do one thing, know your limits and stay away from it. Now, this tip may be a little bit more cynical, but it is true nonetheless. You need to be aware. Listen, people want money, and people want money all over the world. They want money for food, shelter, clothes, power, addictions, etc. And while a good majority of the world will work their butt off to earn every dollar that they have, others are going to do things a little less morally. So you need to be aware when people are going to try to take advantage of you or if there's going to be thieves. And remember, this is the same all over the world. You should be aware of what scams people are trying to run and where you are most likely to be in a dangerous situation. Additionally, you also need to be aware of laws while you're there. Because remember, things that are normal here in the US are not normal in other places. And these include things that would break the law. Some places are a lot more lax about things, and other places are going to be more stringent about things. You may like it, you may hate it, but it's your responsibility to know it. So be aware of situations where others may try to take advantage of you, and be aware of situations when you're going to do something that is illegal. And please do not do the illegal things. This last tip is actually something that I added to my mental list this year due to the pandemic, and that is the concept of a bug out bag, or a bag or a suitcase that has your personal papers like your passport or clothes, food, water, etc. Listen, life is going to throw shenanigans at you. Remember that natural disasters don't really know borders or pandemics. Or there might be a situation that's a bit more personal. Maybe a loved one is in the hospital and you need to quickly go visit them. During that time, you don't want to be frantically searching across your apartment for your papers or your clothes, or realize that you lost your passport, and then how are you going to get back to the US or the UK? So it's really important to be prepared. Have it all in one area, ready to go. In that case, if you have to go quickly, you are able to do so. And there you have it, 10 tips for living abroad. Now, like I said before, this is not a definitive list. There are other things that you should be thinking about when you're going abroad as well. I will take the time to go over that. But for now, I want to know, what do you think is your most important tip for living abroad, or traveling abroad for that matter? Leave your comments down below. And let's quest for wonder as we try to be a little bit more worldly. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.